of the things that characterizes Interorient as a company is its willingness to embrace diversification and look at various sectors or various subsectors within shipping as a sector. And as a result of that, we have managed to broaden our scope of activities, not just geographically, but also in terms of services that we offer and the things that we're involved in. So today, as a ship manager, we are bigger than we've ever been. We're running a fleet in excess of 100 ships. We still act as a ship owner. We're involved in the consortium that runs the Limassol container terminal. So our scope has broadened, and we've taken, I think, the view that diversification is particularly useful in the shipping world, and especially over the last 10 years, which have been rather challenging, I would say, for the sector. We've spent a lot of time and effort in creating added value services as a company to clients, whether that's in performance monitoring, whether that's in insurance services, whether that's in commercial services, whether it's in legal services. So we offer very much a total package to the people that we do business with, and this has come about to a large degree because of our involvement in many sectors within shipping. I'd like to believe that our strategy that we've adopted over the last few years is going to continue to produce good results, which it has done. Our office in Singapore is growing steadily, which is very pleasing for everyone involved there. In a nutshell, I think we seek to continue to broaden both the scope and the scale of our activities. Geographically, I think we are where we want to be. And there's a number of both regulatory, environmental and other challenges coming into shipping that I think a qualified, competent ship manager will be able to add particular value to its client. Our participation in the consortium that was the successful bidder in the privatization of the Limassol container terminal has been a very good addition for us in our diversification efforts. It's the first time that we're involved in port operations. We've always been a client of port terminals, whether container or otherwise, so it's interesting to see the business from the other side. In partnership with our joint venture partners, Eurogate, we have, I believe, in a short amount of time, managed to bring efficiencies and operational levels at the Limassol container terminal that have not existed before, so we're very proud of that. It's only been a year and a half since we took over. In many respects, we are not yet where we want to be. Our new cranes have yet to arrive, and even though we've, as I say, increased efficiency dramatically and volumes are 8 to 10% up year on year, we think that in fact the best years of the container terminal are very much ahead of us. Cyprus is coming out of a difficult economic period since 2013 and 14, and we think that the continued pickup of the economy is certainly being supported by the operations of the container terminal. It is essentially where most of the cargo of Cyprus comes in and out of. We are an island, and that will never change. So it's a crucial part of the economy of Cyprus, and we like to believe that while we have made good progress so far since taking over, we think that there is a lot yet to come, both from ability to attract new business, but also from the point of view of doing the existing local business much more efficiently. I think that the shipping industry here, not just Interorient, has for many years nurtured this idea, because 40 years ago it was just an idea here in Cyprus to create a shipping industry, and I think it's been nurtured carefully and slowly and with the right steps to bring what we have today, which is the third or one of the top 3 ship management centers in the world, and one of the 10 or 11th, I think, flag in the world. It's everyone's responsibility to make sure that we protect what we have, we grow what we have, and we leave a healthy and thriving industry for the next generation. Part of my motivation for taking on the presidency of the Cyprus Shipping Chamber was that we all have to do our bit, and everyone has to contribute. It's not down to one person, it's not down to one company. And what pleases me greatly is that there's such a good level of cooperation amongst the companies here for the greater good. And while we are at times competing with each other, I think everyone is also very mindful of the big picture. And there are many contributions from many players that have led to the success of Cyprus in the shipping industry. I think there was a conscious effort by the shipping companies, the resident shipping companies through the Cyprus Shipping Chamber, to raise the profile of shipping, not just for their sake, but more so to pass the message through to young Cypriots, that we have a live industry here. We have an industry that provides good employment, assure good employment at sea, and we have a product to be proud of. We have a number of campaigns that we undertake both on our own as Cyprus Shipping Chamber and in collaboration with CIMEPA. We're trying to bring shipping closer to people's realities, and especially the younger generations, because of course this is where the future is going to come from. I think the shipping industry at large should welcome advances in its environmental footprint. I think we should welcome technologies that improve our emissions, and we should be in step with what's happening in other industries where there is a concerted effort to minimize the carbon footprint. I think what's important from a shipping point of view is that this is done in collaboration and in partnership with all the partners that are involved in the shipping chain. Recently, through good work by a variety of partners, the IMO published the ambition to reduce emissions by 50% by 2050, which is it's a target, and that's a starting point. Each generation of ship and of engine is inherently more fuel efficient than the one before, but this is an evolution that will take many years to produce dramatic results. If we want dramatic results, if we want a revolution, not an evolution, we really need to radically think outside the box. So we need some other ideas. We need technologies that are either in their infancy or not really being looked at today, in order to provide shipping with a carbon-free, or as much as possible, a carbon-free future. Interorient has always believed that it's very important to contribute in any way possible to environmental issues. Especially being a shipping company, there has always been a wrong perception in my mind that somehow shipping and the environment are not friends or cannot be friends, and I like to challenge that notion. We try ashore to do the best we can. We have an environmentally constructed building which has been recognized as such. We do beach cleaning exercises, we do tree planting exercises, we do as much as we can as a company. But at sea, where we think it's the most important part of protecting the environment, we do a lot of work, and we try to ensure that all our operations are done absolutely correctly and not only in line with international regulations, but going the extra mile if we can. And we think that's very important and a crucial element of sustainable shipping going forward. I think a potential solution either to the Cyprus problem or to the Turkish ban will be of huge benefit to the Cypriot economy at large. trade, not just shipping activities, but trade itself would multiply rapidly, I'm sure. While there is a direct benefit to shipping and to the shipping industry that would allow us to grow the flag and to grow the resident cluster, I believe that the most important benefit would be to the Cypriot economy, not just to one sector. But also wearing my European hat here, I'd like to just say that, I don't view Cyprus as being in competition with other maritime sectors within Europe. I think all maritime sectors within Europe should be fighting the same fight, which is to protect the maritime industry of Europe from competition outside Europe, where they operate without the same restrictions in many cases that we have here in Europe, and with much more flexible regimes. So I think that we have a lot to gain by working together, all the European maritime authorities. There is a good cooperation, I believe, at EXA, the European Shipowners Association, and I'd like to believe that everyone sees that what we should be doing is working together to protect European shipping from the outside. We control, as Europe, we control about 40% of the world's ocean-going fleet, and that's a huge competitive and strategic advantage to have for Europe. And we do our best to educate the politicians and the people in Brussels and the commissioners that this is something that has to be protected. Unfortunately, people only see shipping when it relates to them. If it's a ship going into a port, and they don't always appreciate how much strategic benefit we get from controlling almost half the world's ocean-going vessels. Shipping has always believed in free trade, and through free trade, it brings people together, it creates global understanding. If you go back through history, this is how nations got to know each other and started collaborating with each other through trade. At the end of the day, I don't predict that trade will be disrupted to any large extent, even if we're seeing now some moves involving tariffs and so on. But the global economy and the global system is such that it relies on global trade to flow, and I don't think that's going to come to an end. I think the industry continues to grow, irrespective of what's going on in terms of trade tariffs and so on. But in the broader scheme of things, trade continues to flow, goods continue to flow, raw materials continue to flow. There is and will continue to be a need for quality operators and people that can make a difference, and that's where we like to think Interorient is positioned. I think shipping has always suffered when other people have made decisions on its behalf. It's a bit of a unique industry, and it's a fascinating one. I've been doing this for more than 20 years, and I honestly don't think I've had the same day twice. It's an industry where we need to educate people about what it does, and if we are not involved first at a company level, and then at a national level, and then at an international level, we find that regulations, rules, the direction of shipping is dictated by others. And this has happened in the past, and I think shipping has suffered for it. And my very, very small ambition is that if I can, during my time in shipping, feel that I have contributed in any way to a sensible discussion and to sound policies and regulations, then that's who can ask for anything more. That's as much as you can ask for. And the way that the shipping industry is set up internationally gives you the opportunity to have that voice, and I think that's something that shouldn't be taken lightly. you.